Hello and welcome to Montcast. So getting started, we have what's popular. What's popular lately is Monster Hunter World. It's the new game from the Monster Hunter franchise or series or whatever it is. It's wicked popular. It just came out January 26th, 2018. And if you don't know what it is, it's worth checking out. Trust me. Our new game this episode is Iron Sight. Yep, we have another shooter. Because we don't have enough of them already. But this one is an interesting combination of what appears to be realistic and futuristic. And it's essentially, you get to pick a side from what I understand, and there's the Russia-China side and the West. And they're battling over resources. I think it's set in like 2025. And it looks like so much fun. There's a lot of interesting gameplay mechanics they've introduced that are not unrealistic, and they look like a whole lot of fun to battle over. And as long as the game is balanced, which is kind of a precursor for any game, it looks like an absolute ton of fun. And I think I might have to try it. It's free to play. I think it's PC only, but don't count on it. I'll leave the link in the doobly-doo, and doobly-doo is the episode description. And yeah, check it out. Next up we have video game news. Oh boy. Well, 2018 is off to an amazing freaking start. Records are being destroyed left and right for viewership in esports and viewership in video gaming in general. Even just streaming on Twitch generically is breaking records. Unfortunately, people are watching some major mess-ups. So, some of the things that have gone wrong. A StarCraft 2 tournament. I know I'm really late to the game on this one. I meant to include it in an episode before this, but I don't know how it slipped my notes, but it did, fortunately. A StarCraft 2 tournament was seeded wrong. And these were major matchups. This was the quarterfinals of a DreamHack organized event. And on the line for the quarterfinals was all expenses paid trip to the next big tournament in StarCraft 2, which the top 4 players in the tournament would qualify for. And the bracket was seeded wrong, and after 3 of the quarterfinals had started and one of them had actually finished, they had to go back and restart. Yes, in case you're wondering, the person that won and had to replay their match did ultimately win the quarterfinal match that they were supposed to play, and they did move on and collect that prize. But yeah, that was a pretty significant mess up, especially for a DreamHack that you wouldn't expect DreamHack to drop the ball like that and proceed with a tournament that didn't have any admins present. But, you know, people can be silly. For those of you League of Legends fans, you probably already know about this. I believe it was in the EU LCS, the red side top computer just kept on delaying the matches on Saturday. And goodness gracious, was it a mess. Hours of delay for this one computer's problem. They ultimately did replace it, but that's just not good. The CSGO Boston Major. This is a major talking point for this episode, not gonna lie, because it is such a massive tournament. But at the qualifying leg in Atlanta, Day 4, elimination match. Loser goes home. So, we got the match. It's happening. For any of those of you who know about CSGO, you know that there is effectively a halftime after 15 rounds. It's not always necessarily halfway through the game, depending on how it goes, but in this case, after 15 rounds, there's a bit of an intermission, and during this intermission, one of the team's computers just lost power. The whole desk, the whole team, all the computers just lost power, all the monitors, peripherals, everything lost power. So there's about a 20-minute delay right smack in the middle of a match to get that fixed, and then they load into the next round and boom, it happens again. They were a little faster the second time at getting things fixed, but right smack in the middle of an elimination match with $1 million prize pool at the tournament on the line. Like, there was not $1 million on the line for this specific match, but it was an elimination match. Ultimately, Cloud9 did, the team that was winning at the break, did go on to win that match and move on to the elimination match in Boston. More on that when I get to esports later in the episode. Your indie game of the episode is Striker's Edge. Now, medieval and dodgeball are words that you don't normally put together. But this is essentially like dodgeball, but there's spells and fun craziness added to it. If that sounds something like you're interested in, I'll leave a link to that in the episode description. Okay, esports. Boy, do we have a lot to go through. I'm gonna try and power through as much of it as I can so I can get to the details on what I want to get to the details on. League of Legends, SKT, yes, the 3-time world champions. They suck. So, SKT consists this year of Faker in the mid lane, arguably the best League of Legends player in the world, doing his damnedest to do everything right, and the other 4 members of his team flailing around like they are, I don't even know what to compare it to. They're just like, it's not pretty. But on the flip side, Korean League of Legends in general is far more competitive than it has been in a long time. I think they might have gotten scared at last year's World Championship when it was pretty obvious the gap was closing. Teams, other countries are catching Korea. Korea really stepped their game up this year, and they've got a lot of really competitive teams. So that's a lot of fun to watch if you are awake to watch the Korean matches. If you are not, you can always catch the VODs if you are interested. Overwatch League. Yeah, it's still happening. It's kind of the middle of the split. Games are happening, teams are pulling ahead, but other than that, there's not really anything significant to bring up. The NBA 2K League is ready to start its talent search. If you don't know what this is, essentially, the NBA, a lot of the NBA teams, I don't think all of them, but a lot of them are developing an esports team to play in basically a video game version of the NBA, where a bunch of the NBA teams will have esports teams that play NBA 2K, and they'll play against each other in a regular season, and one could assume a playoff bracket type thing. So yeah, they're ready to start their talent search after it being announced like eons ago. They're finally ready for that. Canada's Madden NFL 18 crown is down to 8 gamers. I will follow up on that when there's a champion. So, oh yes, Hearthstone. I should have brought this up in the last episode because it was an upcoming major esport event, but I left it out to wait for the results. Tom60229 from Taiwan beat the American Frozen in the grand final of the 2017 Hearthstone World Championship. Yes, the 2017 World Championship that happened in 2018 because Blizzard doesn't know what year it is. Anyways, I just think that the 2017 World Champion should be crowned in 2017. That's my opinion, I guess. Blizzard thinks differently. So, there's that. Dota 2, ESL Genting Grand Final. Newbie defeated Team Liquid 3-2 in what was a interestingly close match. And for ongoing Dota, there's the Star League Season 4 Invitational, which if you are at all interested, you probably already know more than I do. But yeah, as that goes on and comes down to a playoff bracket and a champion, I will follow up. The CSGO Boston Major. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, but definitely one of the 2 biggest CSGO tournaments of the year, because there's only 2 majors. Wow. Just wow. All the things happened. Twitch broke a record for a single broadcast. The English broadcast hit 1.1 million viewers during the grand final. If you count the other language broadcasts and broadcasts from around the world, that total reaches a peak concurrent viewership of 1,847,643 viewers. Nearly 2 million concurrent viewers for a single CSGO match. And the Americans won. Spoiler alert. Cloud9 defeated the 4th best team in the world. They defeated the 3rd best team in the world. They defeated the 2nd best team in the world. Maybe you see where this is going. And they defeated the best team in the world during this tournament on their way to taking the crown and the $500,000 prize. Skadoodle on Cloud9. This was his 9th major. The first time he made it past group stages. And he won. He was on the winning team. So congrats to him. A couple things that I really, really liked to see, other than amazing viewership records that are really going in a promising direction, is one of them, the eye tracking was a really interesting addition to the broadcast, because in the replays you could see this player's point of view. Oh, you can see he's checking the map every 2 seconds and he's peeking these corners. It's actually more interesting than it sounds. If you are at all interested. I know people that watch this event, especially the grand final, that are not interested in CSGO at all. And they were on the edge of their seat. This was one of the most exciting finals. By the way, the grand finals went to double overtime, and it doesn't get much closer than that. and the home team won for once, which is pretty great. They also had flashing bracelets at the grand final. And so if you were watching, you already know this, but essentially all the people in the arena, all the fans in the arena had an LED bracelet. And for example, if Cloud9 won the round, their main color is blue. So all those bracelets would flash blue. And when a big double kill happened, a clutch double kill to win the round happened, and everybody stood up and cheered, you could see everybody's bracelets go up with the camera on the audience, and it was really, they hit the nail on the head with whoever came up with that idea. Listener questions. I got nothing. Thank you all for the downloads and the listens. It really means a lot if you could leave a review on iTunes or wherever you get this podcast. It really makes a huge difference to me. But I have no listener mail, no listener questions. So I'm just going to leave you with subscribe so you never miss an episode.